name's Logan Zick. I'll be your guide for today. Let's go. Whew. Man, since I got you here, is there anything you want to talk about? Okay, I guess I can tell you kind of about my last year of school. Yeah, I'm gonna be graduating this year. Exciting. College. Yay. But anyway, I got to do some pretty cool things, I guess, this year. We got to choose a topic that we're excited about, research it, write a thesis about it, and then we did a action project, is what we call it, about our topic. And the last thing we got to do is make a video that, kind of encompasses everything, but kind of procrastinating on it and, doing this instead. So I guess though, this could be kind of like a practice for my video. Would you be okay with me practicing with you? Cool, thanks. Well, I guess we can get into it. Let's talk about what I researched. I looked into wilderness therapy. This kind of sounds like an interesting term, right? Well, I'll break it down for you. Wikipedia defines the term as an adventure-based therapy treatment designed to improve interpersonal skills and mental health, with an experiential education style with it. So this basically means there are groups and companies out there who take kids out into the wilderness and adults and try to grow them emotionally and spiritually through, making them learn personal skills out in the great outdoors like this. A great example of where this type of wilderness therapy works great in is orientation programs in colleges and high schools. A great example of this would be Montreat College in North Carolina. Students asked about their experience after the trip overwhelmingly said that they had found a new community to be in a strange environment, and had grown many skills such as leadership, interpersonal skills, and a lot of time management. A study done on Montreat's orientation program found something significant. That when they introduced an aspect of spirituality into the orientation program, the students grew better academically as long as emotionally in college. So this idea of spirituality is kind of a weird one, because this doesn't have to mean necessarily a specific religion. As long as the orientation program, or the program at all, involves some sort of deep reflection or recollection of oneself, there seems to be a correlation of great benefit to the student. Something else that I found that was really cool, a study was done on a solo trip that Wheaton College offers to its students. What was really cool about this study is they did a before, during, and after survey to the participants that was on it. Now the study itself looked a bit like this. They sent out these surveys to the students. The students would take them before the trip, and during the trip, when the students were alone and on their solo, they would write in their own notebook and write out a little questionnaire that they had to answer. And then after the trip, they responded to another survey. And the study looked at all three sections of the surveys and found similarities in the growth that people had. People could be alone on this study from anywhere from 24 to 72 hours, which, in my opinion, is just awesome. I mean, the school just thought, what's an even better way to let our kids, the students, learn, and then throwing them out in the wilderness and asking them, hey, learn something about yourself. I thought this was super cool. Here's some examples of some of the participants that went on Montreat's orientation program, and also some participants from True Elevation trips. through all the research that I did about wilderness therapy and the various different ways colleges and high schools have implemented it, it really shows me that there's a tremendous benefit to going out into the woods and being able to connect with people just without any distractions around us. I honestly think that if Animas High School introduced some sort of wilderness therapy orientation program for freshmen, maybe a small week-long trip, there'd be a lot better adjustment for 8th graders coming into high school. Anyway, that's pretty much all that I researched. I bet you want to hear about what I did for my action project though, because that is some of the cool stuff. My original idea for my action project was to do a backpacking trip in the summer for True Elevation. I was supposed to design and come up with the trip by myself and lead it, hopefully, during this summer. The people that I would be influencing with this would be the participants of the trip, which would consist of mostly middle schoolers, 6th to 7th to 8th grade. The reason I needed to do this was because True Elevation recently had a management change from Thomas Downing to Finn and Chanel Foster. And Finn and Chanel are close friends of mine, and they were willing to let me do this as my action project. Whew. What do you think about taking a small break right here? You good? Whew. Alrighty. Oh yeah. Whew. Anyway, going on more like specifically what I did for my action project, I had to find a trail for 8th graders and 7th graders that would be appropriate for the skill level. I had to design daily activities for them to do, times for when we would be hiking, times for when we'd be camping. And then I made devotionals for our own company. So True Elevation is a wilderness therapy ministry. So we focus on God and the relationship with God on these trips. And so I had to come up with a lot of devotionals for these kids that made sense and were simple to them. The biggest impact that I want these kids to take away from is knowing that there's still hope. The main theme of the week is hope in Christ. And, through a lot of the stuff that's been going on right now, I think a lot of people need hope, which is the main thing that I want these kids to take away from that. No matter how dark or how bad things can get, there's still hope out there. And I really hope that doing this trip with these kids, I can show them that. I'm kind of tired. Do you want to, jump ahead a little bit? I got a cool little trick I could show you. You okay with that? Okay, cool. Okay, get ready. Brace yourself. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, jeez. Come on, every time. Okay. Whew. That was good. Ready? Let's go. Through this whole process of my thesis, action project, I've learned a lot of great things about myself and actually gained a lot of decent qualities. I think that overall I've become more willing to let someone else help me edit at least my thesis paper and help me when I'm having troubles. A lot of the time I would try to do everything by myself and it wasn't good. be being prideful. I would turn in work that wasn't to my highest quality. But I think during this entire process, I've kind of let myself open up and be more open to help from outside. I think that's also the most important thing that I've learned throughout this whole thing, is that no matter how hard I can work, I can get critique and make it better. You know, I'm really glad you were able to come out with me today. It's always astonishing to me that with everything that's going on, no matter how stressed I am, how much of a bad day I've had, I can come out here, I can take a walk, I can calm down. It is my hope that you can know that whenever you need to, if you're willing, is all you have to do is come out and take a walk. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a good one.